Egypt is looking to invest more in African markets. Business delegations from China, Arab, and African countries have been meeting in Cairo to find ways of expanding investment opportunities. CGTN's Yasser Hakim has more on this. Let's take a look.
Africa has the fastest growing economies in the world and a market of 1.2 billion consumers. The potential is huge for trade and investments in the continent.
Africa has a bright future, and that's why the whole world has set its sight on Africa. With the increase of population and development process, there is room for growth. In my sector in particular, the telecom and high-tech sectors, I'm here to push for partnership with Egypt and China to invest in Africa.
According to figures in 2017-2018, the non-African Middle East countries have only invested $15 billion in Africa. 11 billion of it are from the United Arab Emirates alone, mainly in hotels, airlines and supermarket chains. Arab businessmen have shown strong willingness to increase their investments in the African continent in the coming years, and Egypt could be the springboard for such cooperation. The largest Arab-African investor in the continent is Egypt, with $10.2 billion. And the largest investor worldwide is China. And both are leading Arab investors in pumping more funds in sub-Saharan Africa.
We have an ambitious plan to penetrate and invest in more African markets. This includes programs for the transfer of experience in assembly plants and increasing local African components in most manufactured products. We will also work on transforming raw materials into finished goods locally. And we are studying partnership agreements in these domains.
Several businessmen from the African continent have been meeting with their Chinese and Arab counterparts to earmark the sectors that could benefit from foreign direct investments.
The investment that is required is to do with infrastructure, because that is where we have a lot of deficit. The sectors will be like transportation and logistics, because we must be able to connect all our trades together. And also with finance, making finance available for small and medium enterprises in Africa will greatly enhance trade.
Besides political instability in several African states, there are other challenges facing businessmen who have the desire to invest in the continent.
African countries, must have to make sure now that the ease of doing business is greatly enhanced, and also for the protection of investments in their countries, So these are areas which are very important, for African countries to make sure that they have the legal environment, the legal framework, so that it will give confidence, to foreign investors.
The United Arab Emirates is planning to host the next set of talks between the business delegations. Final contracts for investments in Africa are expected to be signed in the upcoming meetings. Yes, Hakim for CGTN, Cairo.